Coming up on the November 5th edition of Carolina Week.
The results are in. Find out who the election winners are in Chapel Hill and Carrboro.
We'll look at some of the major issues facing the winners, such as university growth and the strain that puts on the town-gown relationship.
Surfing the web is an everyday thing for Carolina students. Some people you might not expect to be into computers are becoming net savvy too. We'll explain.
All those stories and more.
Carolina Week starts now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Good evening and welcome to the November 5th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Andrea McAfee.
And I'm Courtney Robinson. Thanks for watching. Our top story tonight, elections in Chapel Hill and Carrboro. There are some new faces among the leaders of the two towns and some others we all recognize. Candidates and their supporters gathered at Crook's Corner in Chapel Hill Tuesday night to watch the votes come in and celebrate victory. When Carolina Week asked new town councilwoman Sally Green about when students could begin coming to her about issues, she wasn't sure. The realization she'd won hadn't set in yet.
I don't know. I don't know when the swearing in is. Probably it's in December. I'm assuming that I start in January, but I really need to check that out because as hopeful as I've been, I've never really believed this was going to happen until now.
Here's the full slate of Chapel Hill Town Council winners. Sally Green was the top vote getter with 16.8%, followed by Bill Strom with 16.7%. Cam Hill came in with 13.1%, and Jim Ward garnered 12.5% of the vote. Green and Hill are new to the council. Strom and Ward are incumbents. The Carrboro Board of Aldermen will include newcomer Mark Chilton, the top vote getter with 27.1%. Incumbent Joel Brown, who got 26.2%, and incumbent Alex Zaffron with 24.6%. The mayors of both towns will be serving another term. Chapel Hill Mayor Kevin Foy won with 92.8%, and Carrboro Mayor Mike Nelson won easily, capturing 58.1% of the vote.
Things were a little more calm at the victory celebration in Carrboro. Close friends and family gathered to help Mayor Mike Nelson and Town Alderman Mark Chilton celebrate their wins. The candidates counted their votes and checked them twice. Nelson has worked with Chapel Hill Mayor Kevin Foy for the past 2 years and welcomes the opportunity to continue working with Foy on issues of interest to both towns.
Each community has its own set of issues, and we're working on different things and trying to enhance our communities in different ways. But there are also a lot of areas of overlap. Recreation needs, economic development needs, the university's plans for expansion at Carolina North affect both communities.
Clearly what happens in Chapel Hill and Carrboro affects life on campus, and what happens on campus has an impact on what takes place in the communities. But the town-gown relationship hasn't always been smooth sailing. Carolina Week's Dana Hackett explores the relationship.
Construction equals growth, and growth is what university leaders hope to accomplish with Carolina's master plan. But what happens when the university's plans start to interfere with the town's plans? Politicians agree that while UNC and Chapel Hill rely on each other, leaders from both institutions play a constant game of tug-of-war.
We have reached that crisis point, as demonstrated a lot of the developments of this last year.
John Eyre is a historian for the Chapel Hill Historical Society and a 45-year town resident.
The university has used up its available space here and is modifying it now under a state finance bond program, but now is looking to the future and what to do about the big hunk of land that they still have, which is Horace Williams Airport.
That big hunk of land is 1,000 acres surrounding this area. University officials plan to build a new development called Carolina North, made up of housing and research facilities. But nearby residents are concerned the new development will increase traffic and encroach on current neighborhoods.
It's a tension UNC professor Rudy Giuliano admits he exploited when he ran for town council, arguing neighborhoods needed protection from Carolina North.
I want to see the university be successful in its academic aspirations, but as I mentioned, I don't think that means that UNC can just trample all over the town.
But Eyre says although there are some inconveniences that come from university expansion, the town ultimately needs the university to flourish.
They're just like Siamese twins or hand in glove. The two have grown and prospered or gone downhill together.
This prosperous relationship is exemplified by Sutton's drugstore owner, John Woodard.
We wouldn't be able to function without the university being here. I mean, it's because that's Chapel Hill totally revolves completely around the university.
That's the driving force that Giuliano says he hopes will bring the town and the university together.
I'm hoping that both sides have learned from sad past experience and that there'll be more productive interactions in the future.
Productive interactions that might help both the university and the town. In Chapel Hill, I'm Dana Hackett, Carolina Week.
Giuliano wasn't elected Tuesday night. Carolina Week was unable to reach him throughout the day on Wednesday to see if he'll continue to be involved with neighborhood protection issues. The town of Chapel Hill might be seeing a lot more construction in the future. Tuesday, voters passed the largest bond package in history, a total of $29.4 million. Pedestrians will be seeing more crosswalk signals and better sidewalks with the $5.6 million allocated to streets and sidewalks. Chapel Hill residents will have more areas in which to spend time outside with the $5 million allocated to public parks and recreation facilities. The Chapel Hill Public Library will get a facelift with $16 million, the largest chunk of the bond money. There's going to be more land without buildings in Chapel Hill. $2 million will go toward buying land that will remain open. The final $500,000 will be used to increase energy efficiency in public buildings.
In the ongoing effort to revitalize downtown Chapel Hill, town officials recently had 10 more brick planters installed on Franklin Street. Through their Adopt a Planter program, local groups and organizations can pay a one-time fee of $25 to plant the flowers and foliage of their choosing. One of the program's organizers, Missy Julian Fox, says the Adopt a Planter program is both a good and easy way for anyone to join the community.
So it's a sign of the generosity of our community and the creativity, and so yeah, you can do it. You just need to get a few people together.
There are still a few open planters in which to test your green thumb. If you're interested, check out our website at carolinaweek.org for details.
Chapel Hill is ranked one of the top 10 places to live in the United States, but some say that comes at too steep a price tag for city workers. Housing in Chapel Hill costs nearly twice as much as in Durham, and it's why so many low-income workers are forced to live outside the city. Housing proved to be an important issue in this year's town council race. Most candidates put affordable housing on the top of their priority list, but how those who are elected will solve the problem remains uncertain. When problems such as bad weather make it difficult to travel, employees who live outside the city face a tough choice: their safety or their jobs. The median family income is about $79,000 in Chapel Hill, but with an average housing price of $237,000 and an average rent price of $769 per month, finding an affordable place to live in Chapel Hill can be difficult.
And he earned the nickname King.
Now he's earned some jail time. We'll explain coming up.
Mrs. Abruzzo, I'm Ed McMahon, and we're signing up people for...
Yes,
I am. Yeah. Mr. Murphy, Ed McMahon. We're starting up... No.
Dreams really do come true.
Hombre, dinero.
No.
Con cámaras.
No time.
Yes,
Ed
con
McMahon,
cámaras.
see.
Ed McMahon.
Yes, Ed McMahon. We're having our first
Ed
ever...
McMahon.
Yes. Tuesday night at the high school. We're starting up the neighborhood watch in this area, and here's all the information.
Stevie, get down here, please.
No, it's just
5, 6, 7, 8.
No tango dinero. Neighborhood watch. We're having this neighborhood watch, the first one. Right.
Larry, put some pants on.
I'll come back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Start a neighborhood watch. It's just one of the many ways you can help make America stronger. To find out how, call or log on for this free guide.
An update to a story we told you about 3 weeks ago. Junkyard owner Hoyle King, nicknamed the Junk King, is in jail. After years of grappling with King, the county put an end to the discussion by putting him behind bars for 30 days. King was found in contempt of court for failing to comply with the courts and clean up and raise a fence. Cars, old parts, and other things have made their way into others' yards, onto side streets, and Highway 70. King is also required to pay a $10,000 fee to cover the cost for the county to clean up. As the real world gets closer, graduating seniors are asking, what's the job market going to be like this year? Many seniors are already using resources available to get a head start on the job hunt for next year. With the indications that the economy is turning around, Director of University Career Services, Marcia Harris, says there are also indications that this fall, the job market is turning around too.
Most of our students, by the time we do our final survey 6 months after graduation, the vast majority of them are either in graduate school or they're employed. And generally when they're employed, it might not be their dream job, but they're satisfied. We have a real high level of satisfaction.
Although Harris says most students will be satisfied with their career track 6 months after graduation, a small number, about 10%, will either still be looking for a job or have other plans such as international travel.
The United States Agency for International Development recently awarded UNC's Carolina Population Center, also known as CPC, with a $70 million cooperative grant. This is the largest social science award in Carolina's history. CPC and other organizations will work with USAID to spread awareness about issues such as population and reproductive health, maternal health, child health, HIV/AIDS awareness, and infectious diseases. CPC Director Barbara Entwistle says the money will be used to improve a previous program called Measure 1. The new program is Measure 2.
And the idea is to monitor programs in developing countries, to collect data, to provide this to the program managers and other people who are on site, and to improve the quality of the programs.
The project is slated to go into 30 countries around the globe.
As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's what UNC Chapel Hill Committee decided after trying to think of a new university logo. The symbol of the school has been the old well in the past, and the committee is keeping it that way. A uniform version of the campus landmark will soon be on all university business cards, websites, and admissions applications. The logo's image and text will be Carolina blue.
People are logging on to the net more than ever before, and as Kimberly Corrigan reports, there's no age limit when it comes to being part of the new computer age.
It's just part of my everyday existence. I don't see how anybody can get along without a computer all day long, and it's like losing your best friend.
Shirley Ray is one of the growing number of older people who use computers in their daily lives. According to the Pew Internet and American Life Project, those age 65 or older are logging on at a faster rate than any other age groups. Shirley also uses the computer to keep up with friends and family.
You've got mail.
Correspond with a local Dulcimer club, and of course, shop.
You name it, you can do just about anything. I bought and sold lots of stuff. Anything that can't be read in.
She's even connected to AOL Instant Messenger, normally the domain of teens.
That noise you're hearing is somebody on instant mail going in and out.
Shirley uses her computer to stay active during retirement. Studies show that more and more seniors are using the net for stimulation and to broaden their horizons.
Shirley also used the internet to start her own Dulcimer Club. In Carborough, I'm Kimberly Corrigan, Carolina Week.
If you'd like to help an older member of your family become more familiar with the internet, go to our website at carolinaweek.org for a specific link to a site that can help. If you're getting a new cell phone provider, don't worry about telling everybody your new number. You won't have to. Starting November 24th, you can change your cell phone provider in the Raleigh-Durham area and keep your phone number thanks to a new FCC plan. If your number's area code is from outside our viewing area or in the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, or Charlotte areas, you won't be a part of what's called the Wireless Local Number Portability Plan until May. Scott Williams joins us now to take a look at our weather.
Scott, it's been nice weather this week, but it sure has been fall weather. What's going on?
It definitely has been feeling spring-like as you step outside this week. And you mentioned an old saying earlier. Well, I have one for you. Good things must come to an end. And that's going to be the scenario across our area as we're going to introduce a chance for some rain and cooler temperatures. But first, let's take a look at this week's weather question, which is, how often does a lunar eclipse occur? Is it A, once every century, B, twice a month, C, every 6 months, or D, once in a blue moon? I'll have the answer and a look at this week's forecast when Carolina Week continues.
When your children ask where you got married, will you have to tell them, over there by the unleaded? When we lose a historic place, we lose a part of who we are. Help protect historic places in your community. Visit nationaltrust.org.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle, the circle that helps this circle. It starts when we recycle trash at home. It's completed when we buy products made from recycled materials. Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense, finding the ways that work.
Hi, and welcome back to Carolina Week. Fall is here if you look at the leaves beginning to change color across campus. But the weather has felt nothing like fall as we've been experiencing spring-like temperatures for a couple of days. As we go ahead now and look at our weather headlines, you should experience one more day of above normal temperatures in the heart of Carolina. And then on Thursday, we're going to reintroduce the chance for some showers come late Thursday evening into the early part of Friday. But your Friday and the rest of the Carolina Week forecast is going to introduce a cool down in the forecast period. As we go ahead and take a look at our satellite map, you can see that right now our main feature is an area of disturbed weather to our south, which has been bringing in a southerly flow, helping to increase moisture across our region. And that is going to combine with a cold front that's out in portions of the Midwest. Now, this cold front is going to move into our region come Thursday evening into Friday, providing us with showers, and there may be even some convection and instability to give us a few thunderstorms in our area, as we already have begun to see moisture from this area of disturbed weather just to our south, helping to moisten up the atmosphere a little more. And looking at our surface map, you can see that that cold front is slated to continue its progression towards our region, which will spark off some showers in our forecast for Thursday. But behind this cold front, there's going to be high pressure to build in, to come into our region and give us some nice weather and a return back to fall. As we go ahead now and look at your Carolina Week 4-day forecast, you can see that Friday is going to be a mostly to partly cloudy day for the most part, then clearing out ultimately. Our temperature on Friday should top out at about 65 degrees, but you can see that the remainder of your Carolina Week 4-day forecast is going to reintroduce November normal temperatures into our region. And Sunday night, we should have a low right around freezing. So if you're heading out to the beaches, you can see that the forecast there, Saturday and Sunday looks nice, highs in the upper 60s with lows in the upper to mid 40s. What about if you're heading out to the mountains? Definitely you want to take advantage of the nice fall foliage occurring there. Our high temperature on Saturday should top out in the upper 50s, and then on Sunday we'll have a high temperature of about 60 degrees. So it definitely looks like nice weather to go head out to the mountains. And that brings us back to this week's weather question. Does anyone have any idea of how often lunar eclipses occur?
Well, I've only seen one that I can remember, so I don't think it's two.
I'm going to guess C.
You're going to guess C. Well, it looks like someone's been practicing her astronomy. That's correct. And actually, if you want to head out to view the lunar eclipse, Moorhead Planetarium is sponsoring a free sky watching session for anyone who wants to get out and view this eclipse. And it's going to be held at Jordan Lake this Saturday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. So definitely get out and enjoy it. Clear skies as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Scott. And Luke Nostein joins us now for Tar Heel Sports.
Luke, how are our Heels doing? The Heels have been busy, but definitely in a very good way. They've been very successful so far. The women's basketball team is ready to begin its season, and we'll tell you which Tar Heel freshmen you can expect to see a whole lot of. More when Carolina Week returns.
No one looks back fondly on the years they spent in a parking garage. When we lose a historic place, we lose a part of who we are. Help protect historic places in your community. Visit nationaltrust.org.
Okay, guys, time for takeoff. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast Wow! Whoa, look at that! Is that Jupiter?
Hey, kids, it's time to go to the planetarium.
Moorhead Planetarium, where dreams become reality.
What up? Stuart Scott from ESPN. I'm here in Chapel Hill in the Dean Dome, but you know what? When I go home and turn on my TV, I'm actually not watching Sports Center when I'm here in Chapel Hill. I'm watching Carolina Week Sports. Booyah!
Hello and welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Luke Notestein. Well, it's the aluminum anniversary. 10 years has passed since the women's basketball team last won the national championship. Ranked 15 in the preseason top 25, this year's team is among the best in the country as well. The Lady Tar Heels are predicted by the media to finish second in the ACC this season behind, you guessed it, Duke. Junior Nikita Bell is Carolina's top returning scorer. She was named to the preseason All-ACC team after averaging better than 11 points per game a year ago. Also receiving honors was newcomer Ivory Lotta. The freshman point guard was selected as the preseason Rookie of the Year. The third year in a row a Tar Heel has been selected for that award. And Lotta says the team already has its eyes on the Final Four.
You know, I think the team goal to say is probably to make it to New Orleans, you know, to the Final Four, you know. But we're just going to take one game at a time and see what happens.
The Lady Tar Heels open their season November 23rd at home against Hofstra. On the heels of a squeaky clean undefeated regular season and an ACC regular season championship, the Carolina women's soccer team is hungry for more. With the leadership of midfielder Lori Kolupny, forward Alyssa Ramsey, and World Cup phenom Kat Reddick, the Lady Heels look poised to pound the competition in this year's postseason. Well, it's been 2 years since the women in blue have hoisted the hardware of the national crown. But with a spotless record and a national #1 ranking this year, the Heels seem to be headed in the right direction. At least freshman forward Heather O'Reilly seems to think so.
We can go longer and harder than anybody else in the country, and I think we're going to continue to do that, continue to work on our finishing, so when we do create chances in the final third that we're putting them away.
With 3 games left in the season, Carolina football needs to wake up and win another game. They'll have a chance to do so against the Demon Deacons. With a 1-8 record, the Heels are not happy with their performance this season. The 0-5 ACC record ties UNC with Duke for the worst record in the conference. One team will have a chance to win when the two teams play each other in their final game of the season here in Chapel Hill. This Saturday's game against Wake Forest starts at noon. With Stuart Scott representing UNC every night on ESPN, it shows how Carolina turns out some of the best faces in sports journalism. The School of Journalism and Mass Communication brought in the man who puts UNC grads on the TV screen, ESPN executive editor John Walsh. The latest speaker in the Reed Surratt Distinguished Lecture Series, Walsh spoke about the experimental start of ESPN and how it raised the bar for sports reporting. He highlighted how ESPN brought sports to viewers beyond diehard fans and how their newest show, Dream Job, will bring the fans from the couch to the television studio.
I'm looking forward to it. We've always had this notion that there are people out there whom we never see who would do fine on our air, and so we're challenging ourselves to do it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Underground athletes and sports fans can be found in other places as well. If you walked into Fetzer Gym Tuesday night, you would have seen them. Carolina Week's Brad Lewis has the story of the annual sports trivia contest.
The matchups are set. The referee reads the rules, a loyal crowd gathers, and one team wins the coin toss. All the makings of athletic competition. Sports trivia competition, that is. Don't be fooled. These competitors prepare.
We play a lot of Trivial Pursuit, just going through all the cards, going through the orange section. That's the sports section.
Years of practice. I was born for this.
They have an effective game plan.
Ring in fast. I just stay out of Chris's way. Hit him early, hit him hard.
Win. Nothing less.
They adjust to game situations.
We had to figure out the format first of all. Yeah, and then once we realized that we could just guess and not get any points off, we started to just give it our best guess every time, even if we didn't know.
And they have the passion it takes to win.
We've gone through one game, but that's not it. You know, our goal of the championship, we'll settle for nothing less. We gave it 110% this time, but there's a lot left. This is a long tournament.
So, with all the essentials of an athlete checked off, do these guys consider themselves real athletes?
Not physically. Mentally, I'm an athlete.
Look at us.
Absolutely.
We're in the best shape of our lives.
No.
In the end, 12 teams survived, while 12-team seasons have already come to a close. They'll have to regroup and wait until next year. In Chapel Hill, I'm Brad Lewis, Carolina Week Sports.
The contest finals are Monday, November 10th. Winning team members will receive t-shirts for their efforts. Well, guys, as much fun as trivia is, I have a little bit of bad news. Men's basketball stud David Noel is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks with a torn ligament in his hand. He's going to have surgery.
Well, we're really sorry for him. Hopefully he'll heal up quickly so he can get back on the court with the Heels.
Yeah, Courtney, because this is his first year with a scholarship. But on a lighter note, now we all sing along with the radio in the car or definitely at home.
But singing without the music isn't quite as easy, even for some campus pros. We'll let you listen in coming up.
You know, Clarence, you and I should hang out more often. You know, he wears these cheap suits, but they look good on him.
So she says, why lobster?
You never know when a colon polyp is going to show up.
Aunt Ethel, you've been ducking me since '99 at St. Mary's.
Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it starts.
Do I look fat in this?
Don't wait for symptoms. Get the test. Get the polyp.
They love me. They want me here, don't you? Come on.
Get the cure.
These are my peeps.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
A stroke is a brain attack. It's the third leading killer in North Carolina. Warning signs appear suddenly. Sudden severe headache, vision problems, trouble speaking, numbness on one side of the body. We're all at risk. Know the symptoms so you can get medical help fast. For information about stroke, contact the American Heart Association at 1-800-AHA-USA1.
If you've ever sat in the audience of a Tar Heel Voices concert, you know the a cappella group makes its sound seem effortless.
But keeping harmony in the voices and the music takes some work. Carolina Week's Rose Miller has the story.
Listen closely. All you can hear are the voices. Look carefully. You'll see they use no instruments. But these 18 magicians of melody still create a symphony of sounds. Tar Heel Voices alumni say singing the songs is the easy part.
The beauty of a cappella music is the background, the actual group, the 15 or 16 voices that you have in the background. That's the hard part. Singing the solo is a piece of cake.
Group member Chris Melly was willing to help a novice.
Okay, I can do this, okay? Boom, 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 boom. Is that right?
It's close, but I don't know if you're cut out for THV or not. Sorry.
It takes a lot of hard work to reach the point where they sound like the Tar Heel Voices.
We rehearse 2 times a week for about 3 hours each rehearsal. And during concert weeks like this one, we do a lot of additional publicity.
Long practice hours and dedication, 18 hearts, 1 voice. In Chapel Hill, I'm Rose Miller, Carolina Week.
And that does it for this edition of Carolina Week. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here next week. Until then, have a safe and good night and a good week.
Good night.